Did you know that glass is infinitely recyclable back into glass? I want to take you on a journey and show you how when you put your glass bottle in the recycling bin, it comes back to being a brand new bottle again. In Auckland, all the glass goes in with all the other products, which is called a co-mingled system. And the truck's going to take all this product all together to the sort facility. Couple of quick reminders, please don't put things like lids in there or any small bits of plastic. And also, please avoid putting in things like cooking glass and other household glassware. Just glass bottles and glass jars. I'm about to show you why. The recycling trucks from all over the city come here to regroup, and this is where they will sort the glass out from all the other recycling products, and then I'll show you the next process. Here we are at the area where the glass comes in from Auckland recycling bins. This is where their recycling bins are co-mingled, so that means everything including glass is going into the bins, and in this pile behind me is supposed to be just glass, but unfortunately because of all the small things that people put in the recycling bins, it ends up contaminating the glass collection. There's some awful stuff in here, like so many chicken bones, food, there's lots of lids. All these very small bits of plastic end up coming through and contaminating the glass. So really important, if it's smaller than a yogurt bottle, please don't put it in because you're just making this job a lot harder. The glass then comes into the optical sorter. The process here is to get that contamination out of the co-mingled glass and basically start sorting the glass into the different colour types. As it comes through the machine, it looks like a waterfall of glass where it's now optically sorted into all the different colour types. And then it's ready for the next phase. Welcome to the reject pile. This is the pile that's come out after going through the optical sorter, and this has all been rejected by the plant. It smells disgusting, there's lots of food waste in there. So all of this stuff here that's been rejected is going straight to landfill, but let's face it, none of it should have been in the recycling bin to start with. Once it's been through the optical sorter, you can see the glass coming out here along this conveyor belt. And as you can clearly see, this has now been sorted into the different colour types, and it's now ready to go off to actually be recycled at the Visy Glass manufacturing plant. We've just been to the plant where the glass was optically sorted, and behind me here is a mountain of what they call amber glass or brown glass, depending on what you want to call it. They've sorted this to try and get as much contamination out as they can, but I mean, just looking here, there's still things coming through like sushi fish, they're just the stupidest piece of waste on the planet. And then these bits here, funnily enough, from like grandma's teapot or something, these porcelain bits, these are actually a big problem when it comes to glass because these will create defects in glass. They can't melt down at the same heat as glass, so they end up getting stuck in glass bottles, and that actually creates a safety issue when it comes to glass. Here we can see the giant piles of clear, green and amber glass that are ready to be recycled. Then the glass is transported over to the hopper, which is where all the recycled glass gets fed into the batch house. It goes up a conveyor belt where they add some virgin product into it, and then it's fed up into it's like a giant cake mixer where they formulate all the different colours of glass. And now it's ready to slowly gravity feed down into the furnace. It's really quite nice and warm in here in winter. I'd hate to feel it in summer. It's coming along here in the furnace and it's actually starting to melt down. So they've actually got a river of glass that runs underneath this, and as the raw material comes up on the top, it sits along the top and it slowly melts as it goes through the furnace to actually go into the glass river, where it then is going on to the next stage. So the glass has now come out of the furnace and into the refiner. Now the refiner is where the glass gets evenly heated, so by the time it reaches the end of this process, it's ready to be formed into a new bottle. So So this part here is super exciting. You can see these orange things behind me. These are called gobs. The glass is coming down out of the refiner. It's just like a laser beam that's cutting the gobs into pieces of very, very hot molten glass. And as it comes down, it's shooting out into all these different areas that's going down ready to be formed into a brand new glass bottle. Let's go and have a look at that part. So here's where the bottles are coming out. The gobs have come down, they've formed the neck on the other side, and now the gob comes over, it gets blown, so it forms the bottle, and then the bottles come out like this. And it's amazing to see how fast this process actually is. Unbelievable. So when the bottles come out, you can see they're super hot. At that point, the glass is really stressed, and so what they need to do is they take it along here, a stacker pushes it into this massive unit here, which is like just a giant oven. What that does is it reheats the glass up again and allows to take the stress off the bottle, and then the bottle gets gently cooled after that. So at this point here, the bottles have come through the oven and they've now chilled down, and they're all just slowly making their way around into the inspection area where they'll get checked out. So at this point here, all the bottles are being checked. So they're using lights and sensors, and it's checked to make sure that it's safe and it's good to go. Any reject bottles get dropped down, basically go back round into the furnace and come back in around to make a new bottle.
Once each bottle has made it through the final inspection, it makes its way down the conveyor belt and it gets packed into giant pallets. These are then sealed up and loaded into a truck and sent back to be refilled at the beverage facilities.
And that's how glass gets recycled.